It's part of the series discussion on human resource practices in Bangladesh. Today, we have invited Jahangir Alam, Muhammad Jahangir Alam, who is working in Meghna Bank Limited. I request Mr. Alam to introduce yourself to the students. Mr. Alam.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Masum, for inviting me. It's very glad to have a session with you for the second time. It's me, Jahangir. I'm working in Human Resource Division of Meghna Bank as a vice president and looking after the whole ASR practice and area operation of my bank. I'm here as a second man, deputy head of ASR. I have had to report to head of ASR. But the operational part and the other ASR practice is controlled by me in my bank because the person who is in the leading position, he is taking care of the strategic part and meeting the leaders of the bank. But the activities and the function and the practice are mainly managed by me. And there are 10 members who report to me. This is all about my present bank, and before that I worked for Eastern Bank and Podda Bank. I started journey with Eastern Bank after completion my graduation and post-graduation from Dhaka University. And I'm very lucky that I'm working in human resource division and human resource practice, which is rightly matched with my education, because my education was in human resource division, human resource management, and graduation in management. So this is all about me, and thank you. Let's begin.
Well, thank you for your nice summary introduction, and hopeful our discussion will be beneficial and helpful for the students to understand the HR practices in Bangladesh. Ultimately, the course title that I taught to the students and teach to the students is Human Resource Practices in Bangladesh. And unfortunately or fortunately, there is no special book on it. And that's why the discussion in between the academician and the people who are working practically in the field will be beneficial for the students. So আপনি নিশ্চয়ই বুঝতে পারছেন যে
So
আমাদের
definitely, I will take the chance. I'll take that chance that you mentioned that there is no book which is written on human resource practice in Bangladesh. So professional, I can write on human resource division in Bangladesh.
So maybe we miss your words.
Okay.
So theoretically, we teach the students about the different functions of human resource management. Say, for an example, um, human resource planning, job analysis, recruitment, selection, training and development, performance appraisal, compensation, industrial relations, retention, separation, and these are the common issues and functions of the human resource management. Can you please explain about the human resource planning practices in your bank and also in Bangladesh?
Okay. Actually, it's very recent. In last December, we are in January, first of beginning of the year. In last month, we did the same job on HR planning, because in every year at the end of the year we start working on HR planning so that we can work on human resource for the next year. So what we did in last year, that first of all we we analyze our current manpower strengths. Then we asked for the requirement from our respective division and department and the branch manager. We have a format. Sorry, it's good if I share the format. So we share the format to all department head, division head, branch manager, and there are some information are there. First of all, we put the current strengths of the manpower of that respective department. Then we put there are some columns. How many members you need in upcoming year? Then there is a column. What is your achievement with the existing member or existing manpower, and what you will do if you add some manpower in next year, and please justify. And what is your current portfolio, and what will be your future portfolio with the additional manpower? Then they provide those data, and after compiling whole data, when we receive data from all department, branches, and divisions, then we compile all data, and then we go for job analysis, like whether the department head are putting right number logically or illogically. Say, for example, in a branch like Dhanmondi branch, they have manpower around 10. So they are asking another 3 manpower, say, for example, 3 manpower. So it's our duty to justify whether the 3 manpower are exactly needed in Dhanmondi branch or not. So what is the way of justifying that 3 additional manpower? So what do? We check their business portfolio, we check their growth trend, what is their business or their portfolio in first of 2024, and what is their business and portfolio last of 2024, and then we check the job description of each member and what will be the job description of additional 3 manpower, and we try to check out whether the job are correctly distributed among the members. Maybe one job is carried by 3 or 4 members. Say, for example, one job. The same job is carried by more than 2 or 3 members. So we check all job description among all members. Then we can justify whether the requirement is really needed or not. After compiling whole data, we present those data to our senior management, and there are some deduction after doing whole things. We prepare the manpower planning for the next year. In addition to there is a criteria like budget. We align requirement with the budget. Like Dhanmondi branch is asking additional 3 manpower. So is it viable financially? Or that Dhanmondi branch has any budget or not? What is their present salary cost right now? And what will be the salary cost of adding 3 manpower? And what is the total budget of salary cost in next year? So budget is there. We have to check with the budget, manpower budget. Then if everything is okay, like I'm taking Dhanmondi branch as an example. So when they're asking 3 manpower, but after analyzing business portfolio, previous trend, future projection, and the job description of all members, and the budget, and the management expectation from the Dhanmondi branch, and the future planning of Dhanmondi branch, all these factors, analyzing all these factors, we come out with a decision that Dhanmondi branch maybe needs only 2 or 3. There are some cases that Dhanmondi branch is asking 3, but we are giving 4. Data shows that if we put more number there, then result will come more. So there are some cases they are not asking, but we are putting more.
That means you are doing some strategic analysis, strategic human resource analysis. You are linking your strategic actions.
Right.
1 minute. So you are
started in
1 minute. So you are linking the objective of the company with the human resource requirement.
Right.
So that means it is strategic human resource management. And
definitely
you were talking about you are relating with the company's sales, and also number of people. Do you do any analysis, say for an example, regression analysis, relationship between the number of people and sales volume or profit volume? Do you do any
Definitely,
mathematical
that is
modeling?
our
Mathematical, I'm talking about the
yes,
mathematical
that is our
modeling.
that is our yes, that is our daily job. We always calculate the productivity of the employee. We always calculate because why it is needed? Because bank is running by the people's money.
Yes.
People's money. There is no scope to lose the people's money. So this is not our money. We really believe that this is people's money, and we are here to save that money. We are the custodian of that money. So we are accountable to the society and the people and the customer. So we always calculate the productivity. What is the employee productivity of Dhanmani branch or Gulshan branch or the head office like human resource division. So we calculated the per employee deposit, per employee loan disbursement, per employee service, per call service solution rate. These are the calculation we usually do. We usually do and we have to do.
You are
There is no
linking
scope to
your
avoid this
your HR activities
calculation
with
method.
the company's objective. You are linking your activities with the company's objectives. And in addition to that, do you have any HR analytics you do to relate investment in HR and its relation with the output of the company? That means, say for an example,
Sorry,
ROI, HR,
sorry, I can't hear you
human
properly.
capital. Sorry.
Sorry, I
So,
can't hear you properly. It's
okay,
breaking your.
can you now? Can you hear me now, man? Mr. Alam, can you hear me?
Uh,
Can you? Sorry, this may be the problem of internet, but I see here the internet is working properly in my end. Can you? Can you hear me?
now it's okay. Now it's sorry, I missed your last question.
So you are linking business objective with the number of people.
Right,
And
right,
do
right.
you measure the investment perspective of human resource management? Say, for example, human capital ROI.
Definitely, definitely,
So this type of
definitely.
strategic or
We always do. We always calculate CTC, that is cost to company of every employee. So how much we are investing to that step and how much we are getting. So this is you can say now bank is a number driven organization. It's a very number driven organization. There because we always deal with money. So in our every function, we calculate everything in terms of money.
so do you say this job is known as the people analytics or something? Eh,
No,
eh,
it's a people analytics. Definitely, it's people analytics job.
Okay, thank you. So please move on with your HR planning job. So you were talking about the HR planning, and you said that you match with the business objective and the number of people. But if you
No.
found that
Not only business objective. Not only business objective. I mentioned some criteria like business objective and organizational objective and a future plan of that branch
branch,
and the management expectation of that branch and service what should I say service capability of that branch like Dhanbandi branch is in rush of providing customer service, so there are 3 or 4 customer service officer. So if we expect growth more from the Dhanbandi branch, then we have to provide better service to the customer. So in terms of providing better customer service, we need to provide more customer service officer. This is how we do HR planning of a respective branch or department.
Okay, okay. But can you please explain any case where you find that number of employees are more than number of people required for that branch?
Yes, we got it. Yes, we got it. We got it. And last year, last year in 2020, 22, in 2022, when we got data that in Jirabo, that is located in Ashulia, in Jirabo branch, they are making loss. They are making loss day by day, but still they are asking more people. And we analyzed all data and we found out that maybe they are overstaffed. And the amount they are making money, but in compared to that earning, they are making more loss due to staff cost.
HR cost.
Or there are some points we counted at that time. The branch location is not in the right place because the business operation or the business opportunity is too low there, and the manager was not the right capable person. There are other things, though I shouldn't share all things
So
with you
in general,
because this is
so if you find that the number of people are more than necessary, then in that case, what type of actions as a HR manager in Bangladesh you would suggest or you can take?
Then we what we do, that is a very traditional job. We withdraw some manpower and we put there where the additional manpower is required.
That means internal transfer.
Internal transfer.
Okay, then HR planning. Any other issues or practices in Bangladesh on HR planning?
That's a very common trend in Bangladesh. That is a very common trend in Bangladesh. If any department head has 5 members and he's happy with that 5 members, he's doing good with that 5 members. Despite of that, he will definitely, when you ask requirement, he will definitely ask additional manpower. That is a very common trend. And people love to ask more and more and additional manpower. That is our experience.
So
If
they
some,
personally
if
do
some,
not relate their performance with the number of people. They personally do not relate.
yes, right.
Oh,
And in 2021, we got the requirement around 450. That was an absurd number in our knowledge.
history, maybe.
So people, now we perceive that people love to ask more manpower without charging anything. Though there is a template, when you put your requirement, you have to justify your asking. You have to justify your demand.
So this is usually in literature we say aggregate planning. How about succession planning for the top management positions? Succession planning you practice in your company.
Yes, not broadly, but what we do, that is, say for example, bank is a branch-oriented job. Every bank has a number of branches. So branch manager are the main key person of
Key
any bank.
person. Good.
Though there are some department heads who are making decision, who are operating the bank, but we usually think that branch manager is the key person. So we actually do succession planning job for the branch manager position, because we think there are 61 banks are operating in Bangladesh, and every bank has 100 more than 100 branches. So the job opportunity of branch manager is huge. So there is a chance any good manager may leave anytime. So what we do, we always make our second man be ready so that that person can run the branch. And what we do, we provide some leadership training, people management training, communication training, so that that second man or the deputy can be ready. Or there are some department head who can come to head office, who can be posted to head office, and that branch manager can lead the organization. That we also provide training. We also provide counseling and coaching, and other. We invite them to the leadership. We invite them to the decision making table so that they can be ready for operating the organization. Because
So
there are some branch
how,
managers who will not
how
run
do you
branch
invite
for their whole life.
how do you invite
We
them
have a
to
we
discuss
have a
in your table?
we have a competency database. Competency database means what is their background, what is their career starting and portfolio, and checking their through the competency database, we make the list of the employees who will go to the next position. And
Yes.
accordingly, if they need any training, if they need any post, then we provide accordingly.
Then you were talking about the job analysis, and you said that you identify the duties and responsibilities. That means job description. So how do you match the people characteristics with the job description? That means job specification. How do you match?
Okay, I'm not getting you. Are you telling that how I match job description or job specification?
Right, right, right.
Okay, so actually, you can say as we are in HR for last 16 years, so we can easily identify which requirements are needed for which job. That is, say for example, we need a person who is having credit knowledge.
So don't you
So
check the
credit knowledge.
background education? Background education, say for example, one person is coming from Bangla graduation, another is coming from finance. How do you
Right,
make the difference between
right,
these two
right.
graduates?
Definitely, some job needs some job need credit knowledge. So definitely, I'll not invite someone who is having other backgrounds except commerce or business. So someone is having BBA and MBA or some degree which is related to business discipline. Definitely, I invite that person who will at least know debit and credit, or at least know what is credit. What
But
is
that
what is
credit and the debit credit is not same, isn't it? The
right,
credit
right.
and
But
banks.
but but we if the person has little bit knowledge, then we can make that person for that position, providing training or other tools.
So what is the job orientation practice here in Bangladesh and banks?
Job orientation, what we do when any employee come to join with Magna Bank,
Or before
then
that,
we
you can
first of all
also
we
go thoroughly about the recruitment process at your bank, because recruitment before
we
recruitment.
conduct extensive recruitment process. If I mention our last recruitment, that is FTO management training officer, who joined around 33 management training officer joined in first January of this year. So there are 5 steps we conducted to recruit those management training officer. The first step was we received 43,000 CVs, 43,000 applicants applied for that position. That is huge number, though it is confidential information, but just for sharing with you. So we conducted online test that was conducted by IBA and BT Jobs. And after that, we took preliminary interview of 3,000 applicants who qualified in
online test. What are the contents, or how did you conduct the online test?
Online test was conducted by jointly Meghna Bank, IBA, Dhaka University, and BT Jobs. The question paper was provided by the IBA, and the technical support was given by BT Jobs, and and around 33,000 applicants attended that online test. And the question was around the total marks was 30, and the number of question was 30, and we selected 3,000 who scored top.
I see.
And after that, we took preliminary interview of those 3,000 applicants, and we went to take written test with 1,500 out of 3,000. So 1,500 applicants took physical, in person, preliminary interview. That was in person. In person. And after that, 1,500 only out of 3,000, 1,500 took part in written exam. That was also conducted by IBA of Dhaka University.
I see.
And after that, we conducted panel interview, and this is how we onboarded 33 management trainees who joined 1st of January. And about the orientation, you asked me what about the orientation practices. Usually, when any batch or any employee join in my bank, we conduct orientation, like we provide orientation program. That orientation program consists of two things. One is classroom-based orientation. Classroom-based orientation means that is a session 2 or 3 days. We provide policy orientation program. Then we provide the organizational rules, practice, and what we do. Actually, we oriented them what we do, what is our practice. After that, they go for job rotation or rotational program. They move to every department.
Do you mean this rotational program is part of training, on the job training or something like this?
Not actually training, it's a part of orientation. They are oriented to different department practice. After that, we send them to training program. Orientation program consists of two things. One is classroom training session, 2 or 3 days. After that, they go for a rotational program. And after completing these two things, we send them to training program, job-related program.
So please, maybe I was disconnected. Can you please continue, please?
Okay. So number one is classroom orientation. That is policy orientation. We call policy orientation. We introduce them with the policy, rules, and practice of the organization. Then
do you mean this policies, HR policies, or other corporate
HR policy and organizational policy? HR policy and organizational policy. Code of conduct is there. Dress code is there. Anti-harassment policy is there. So we oriented them with the different policies that a new joiner needs to know. And after that, we conduct rotational program. They visit all departments. Like someone joining in HR department, they will go to finance department, they will go to logistic department, they will go to IT department, and that rotation program is made for 7 days, only 7 days. After that, we send them to a job-oriented training.
Yes. On the job training. Maybe it is on the job training.
On the job, right, right. And there is another thing I missed, socialization program. Socialization program is held for the senior people. Socialization means they go to department head and introduce that person. Socialize means socialize that person to the senior leader of the organization.
I
That is
see.
called socialization program. That is not applied to all position. That is applied to senior role. That is for
I
senior
see.
role.
So alternatively, this functions in HRM is also known as
And
onboarding.
another thing we make a profile of new joiner, then we send to all employees through email, so that all employees come to know that someone is joining, someone in Megabank, and what his file and what function that person will carry.
I see. And one more important issue, some people are reporting to you. So what are the roles they are playing in different positions and reporting to you? What are the designation and roles to
Okay.
them?
Okay. Okay. There is 7 members who are reporting me. One is looking after the compensation benefit, like his processing salary, his monthly salary, and the incentive, and the bonus, festival bonus, and travel and daily allowance. What are the financial matters are deal with that person? And another one person who is looking after the operational part, leave and attendance, and operational few things like providing employee certificate, and partly he's looking after the sales force. Like we have a strong sales force. That person is looking after salesperson, and another 2 members who are looking after recruitment and selection. They are responsible for the recruitment selection. Another person is responsible for employee separation. Like someone is resigning and he's taking care of that function. Another one is the responsible for the employee relation. Employee relation means that he communicate with the employee, and disciplinary action is there. Uh, the, and last member who is taking care of the training and development issues.
I see. So after giving the new employees training, what are the development programs your bank is offering and practicing in Bangladesh? What are the development programs, employee development programs?
Yes. As I mentioned that we conduct succession planning, though as per theoretical practice, we are unable to follow the whole process of succession planning, but we conduct succession planning a bit, and that is useful in our bank, though that
Yes.
is not in a standard way. But what we do, as I mentioned, that we have a competency database, and we know what training is needed for what person, because we conduct training need and assessment in every year. Today, I can tell you, today we finalized the training calendar for 2025 today. because in
The
last
training
month
calendar, what
we
do you mean by training calendar?
training calendar meant which training will be providing to which employee in whole year and what date with the
So
date,
how do you
because
analyze
we
the training needs? How do you analyze the training needs?
okay, that is come from the competency database and the profile of the employees, and the traditional method we follow, though you can say that is a traditional method. We ask training, we provided a format to all employees what training you feel you if that we asked employee that what training you need or you feel you need the training, and we ask differently from the department head. Department head put comments what training are needed for their team member and which team member needs which training. So we take data from both it, one from employee, another from department head or supervisor. So we summarize those data. Like as an employee, I'm telling that I need communication training, and my supervisor feels that I need leadership training. So we summarize those data, and there are some
Communication. Say, for example, you said communication. What do you mean by communication? Is it English language skill?
no. Communication means how much you are communicated to the customer, to the people. It's not
Language.
that which medium you are using. It's
It
not
doesn't matter.
that creative.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. But how much you are communicated to the, if you are comfortable with the Bangla, then or you have you any convincing capability when you talk, when you communicate.
I see.
If you
Negotiating
have any
skills.
negotiation skill, right? So summarizing those data, one from USTAF and another from supervisor, we summarize whole data, and accordingly, based on the TNA, training need assessment, we prepare training calendar.
So,
And that training calendar is followed for the whole year.
so what type of training you are
And
going
in
to
addition to
give to?
training,
Okay,
uh,
I got your idea. Training calendar.
it's not like that we regularly can follow the training calendar properly, but that is a guideline for the whole year.
So, do you have separate training institute?
Uh, we we had, but last year we lost it because bank was in need of location, and we are shifting our training institute to another place, and that is under construction. That is under interior decoration. Maybe
So
we'll
do you
inaugurate
mean
our
that
new
the
training
importance
institute
of
in
training
next month.
is decreasing? Do you mean that importance of training is decreasing?
Not like that. Not like that. We training institute was not in last year, but we had a venue. We had a venue, and we are making a we are building a very good sophisticated training institute. Definitely, I will
I see.
invite you. You'll see how
Mhm.
much we are giving importance to the training, and that
Okay,
is very art technology. That will be very decorated art technology.
I see. So, apart from training and development, compensation practices here in Bangladesh and banking sector. Okay, compensation practice.
I can't hear you.
So,
Okay, can you repeat?
I have. So, can you please share the compensation strategies of your bank? Compensation strategies.
Okay. Compensation strategy means we follow the EVP, like employee value proposition. Employee value proposition. We believe that people don't work for money only. So they people don't work for money only. So Our compensation packages, we call it total reward system. Total reward system means some things will be there financial, some things will be there non-financial, but that will definitely motivate to the employee. Like we have a insurance facilities or medical facilities for the employees. We have a leave fare assistance for the employees. Like when employee will go on leave, they will take some money, they will enjoy their holiday vacation. And in addition to that, we also provide different bonuses like Boishake bonus. That is a new a new thing to motivate to the employee. So we believe that our compensation strategy should be total reward system that is not only the financial matter. There should be some things, there are some that will definitely people will definitely give priority more than the money.
So how do you
So we are not
balance
telling
work
that we are
life?
paying highest salary in the industry, but we are paying salary that is market standard.
And what about the monetary issues? What are the non-monetary issues?
So actually, our compensation strategy is two things. We focus, that is total reward system. We will not focus only financial matters. And another one, so we will ensure the equity and equality.
So what are the non-monetary issues you're offering in your bank?
Non-monetary issues means there are some tie up with the different hospitals. The staff can avail discount. There are tie up with the different store and the shopping center. The staff can avail different facilities, and and we also provide cashless medical facilities to the staff. Cashless management, that means that staff admitted to any hospital, then admit to any hospital, that staff doesn't need to pay anything. Bank or the insurance company will pay on behalf of that staff.
Very good.
And there's some membership. There's some membership like that staff can be member of that gym or that club. There are some club membership, though that club membership is for senior role, not for all. And we also provide career growth opportunities, like we provide training and the coaching. Sorry, it's lot of interruption is going on.
So maybe this is national problem. This is not your personal problem.
I don't know. I tried with Wi-Fi connection, also mobile connection, but both are not working properly.
So compensation, rather than compensation, performance appraisal. What are the practices, performance appraisal in your bank?
In when I joined in my bank in 2020, then that bank was following behavioral graphic rating scale method. Graphic
I see.
rating scale method. That is a very traditional method. We changed that policy and we updated with balance scorecard method.
I see.
Balance scorecard method is consist of 4 pillars. Number one is financial, then customer, then internal process, then people are learning. So our performance appraisal is based on those 4 pillars, and that is called for balance scorecard model. And in addition to those 4, we also appraise, we also evaluate our employees with the 6 organizational values. we have 6 values, organizational values, that is inclusiveness, then customer delightness, then innovation, creativity. There are some 6 organizational values.
See.
So these are this is how we are conducting our performance appraisal process.
So, but there is the parameters or
That is based on
KPI,
balanced scorecard.
KPI or performance indicators. But how do you measure balance scorecard? Say, for an example,
Right,
for a credit officer, how
right,
do you measure the?
right. Okay. Balanced scorecard is totally KPI based performance appraisal. Totally KPI based performance appraisal. We at the beginning of every year, we set KPI of all employees.
I see.
Then in mid of year, like in July, we conduct half yearly appraisal.
I
Half yearly
see.
appraisal means we try to find out what is the current status of performance status of that staff, whether that staff is in line or in lagging behind, or whether that staff is required for any assistance or not. So at the last of the year, we conduct annual appraisal, and that is based on the setting KPI. That is based on the KPI which was set at the beginning of the year, and the KPI is distributed. This As I mentioned to you, there are some mistake in performance appraisal process that is written in book. When we practice our performance appraisal process, we usually follow those mistakes. Like there are some mistake, halo effect, central tendency, or the leniency. Those we face day to day when we conduct performance appraisal process. There are some supervisors who are too much diplomatic. They take a position to, I will not give any wrong, I will not give any bad appraisal, I will not give any good appraisal. So they are called central tendency leader.
I
And
see.
there are some supervisor who take recent incident to conduct performance appraisal. Like the staff is very good for whole year, but in last few days that this staff was on leave, or that staff didn't give proper salam to that supervisor. So that supervisor pointed it, and he used that salam issue to appraisal, to conduct the appraisal. There are many unwanted, you can tell, unwanted things are happening in a performance appraisal process.
So
And
how do you
I am getting
adjust
that
with these
I'm ge-
problems?
I am getting that experience for last 16 years in my whole career.
I see.
And I have a hope that I will written something on that issue someday. Uh, we try to minimize those issues. How we try, that is, we have a committee. We have a committee. They are called calibration committee.
I
So
see.
that calibration committee consists of 6 members, senior 6 members, and they are from different department. And when we compile whole data, we present those data to the committee member. They go one by one, and then they check whether that appraisal is done fairly, or that there are some issues to be corrected there. So the calibration committee is given full authority to change any rating or change any score of the performance appraisal. Though the calibration committee by on a what should I say? The calibration committee can take suggestion from the department head, like the calibration committee wants to change any rating or score. They take advice from the respective department, or they can talk to a respective department head. They can ask the department head why you have given this rating, because that stuff doesn't deserve it, or that stuff deserve more. So only one tool we use, that is calibration committee, nothing else, because it's a human being nature. So that is built in the heart, in the
Tendency.
brain.
Mm.
Uh,
So performance appraisal system, then practically you are applying performance appraisal system, and theoretically, what is the match or mismatch in performance appraisal?
mass is what I told you. Mass is, there are some mistake, there are some wrong, which are rightly matched with the which are rightly matched in practical field. That people are not fair conducting performance appraisal or giving score to that subordinate. And unmatched, there are some methods we read out when we read out in our academic period. Uh, those methods are backdated, like right, paired comparison, graphic rating skill. There are some methods I can't remember, but those are
360.
not used.
So what about
360.
360-degree analysis?
One is a 360-degree appraisal. Those are also not in practice. There are very few number of organizations. I can't remember anyone who follows 360-degree appraisal. But mostly, most of the organizations are trying to follow. Most organizations are trying to follow KPI-based performance appraisal. And in government sector, there is a performance appraisal method that is called ACR,
ACL,
Annual
yes.
Confidential Report.
Hmm.
Annual Confidential Report, I have lot of reservation or objection about this name. Annual Confidential Appraisal shouldn't be confidential. That should be open to open.
So
Like
in your case, say for example, you have a calibration committee, but calibration committee can override, or they take a new appraisal from the appraiser.
no, they are giving full authority. They can override, but as a courtesy, they take advice. They talk to the department head. They try to convince the department head, or they can call department head why you have given this rating. Though the calibration committee is given full authority, but as a courtesy, they don't operate. They try to negotiate with the department or the staff.
That means rewrite,
It is
rewriting.
right. And uh, interesting part of performance appraisal process, that is our system is open. Like in every performance appraisal form or the document, the department head will sign, supervisor will sign, and the supervisor will also take sign from subordinate. And the rating is there. There is no option to play hide and seek game.
So nothing is
That
confidential.
is, it's not a ACR, annual confidential report. That is not. There is no way to hide anything. So
So we
staff
need to change.
knows
The government
what
system
is
should
his or
change.
her rating. Definitely change.
So
Annual
annual.
confidential report, appraisal shouldn't be confidential. It should be open to open, so that
So,
accountability, responsibility can be ensured.
and apart from performance appraisal, industrial
Because
relations
I
or
I
employee
should
relations.
I have I have full authority to know my performance or to know my improvement area. If you put something in absence of me, or you are writing something which is confidential, how do I know my improvement area? How do I know my performance?
Yes. So apart from performance appraisal, can you please share the employee relation strategies or industrial relation strategies in your bank, also in
Okay,
other
employee
banks.
relation strategy is we have a communication officer. He is responsible for the communication officer. He's taking care of employee issues, like someone is having any issues, like he's not satisfied with supervisor or with workplace or with work location. That staff can tell to our designated officer, and we have a committee. We have a committee. We have a policy that is speak up policy. Speak up policy means anybody can tell anything to the designated officer. That is speak up, raise your voice. We always appreciate raising voice to if any staff has any issues. And we have a separate email that is, we have a two separate email. Number one is HR communication. Number two is grievance cell. Grievance cell. Anyone can write anything to the email address, and that email address is confined with one person. Everybody cannot access to that email address. So head officer is the designated person. He can check that email. If I have anything to share, I can write to that email. And we also giving option to the staff. You can say, you can write anything, hiding your name. Even
I
you
see.
don't need to mention name. You just share your scenario. You just tell us your story,
So,
what you are
so
facing.
what about
There are some
the
issues people don't like to.
anti
Sorry,
harassment policy in your bank and also other
we have
banks?
anti-harassment policy, and we have anti-harassment committee also, consists of three female member and one male member.
But how do you deal with the how do you make the difference between sexual harassment, say for an example, and inter-office romances, say for an example,
Oh, that's very new term to me. Inter-office romances.
right?
Okay, sexual harassment is something when someone is not happy with your any move. When someone is feeling disturbed or disturbance or with your any move. And inter-office romance means when you will not receive any complaint.
Mm. So
So if you receive any complaint, if you receive it,
sometimes
then that
in
is
my
okay.
experience, I found that some inter-office romances turn into sexual harassment. What is the policy to deal with this issue?
Okay, then if inter-office romance turns to sexual harassment, then we'll take that issue to the sexual harassment issue. Definitely. Before that, it is okay. And you can't stop that inter-office romance, because romance means I shouldn't use that word but again and again. But we always try to make a workplace that is should be not that shouldn't be only for work. People will love to work with fun and pride. So fun also should be there. We always appreciate funny environment. Like people will come to work, they will have tea, they will have gossip, they will make fun, and they will also work.
Several example in Labor Law 2006, the law where the law is applicable, they have trade union to raise the voice
Right,
of the
trade.
workers. But what is the way of
Right.
raising voices of the workers in banking sector?
I told you, trade union is totally absent in private bank. Totally absent. You will see trade union in government bank. That is called CPA. But in private bank, that is strictly discouraged, not prohibited, discouraged. And no one is interested to form a trade union. But we deal with, because we have a grievance cell, we have an anti-harassment committee, we have a two separate email. To say anyone can write anything to that email, and that email is custodied by head of HR, and anyone can write anything hiding their name. Uh, and anyone can raise voice anytime. They can send any time to
So
our
that means
designated committee, and
because
we
of
always.
technological applications, maybe the importance of trade union has reduced. Is it? Because in
You can tell. You can tell. You can tell. And
so
trade union is actually now trade union is used negatively. Like why it is negatively? Because that is becoming a political move, political entity.
but textile sector in our country is dealing with international buyers, international compliance.
Right.
So
Right.
the international buyers are pressurizing the companies to form and run trade union.
Right.
So
There is a provision, maybe at least 20%. Before that, it was 10%. Now it is 20%, or IOL is giving pressure to make it 30 or 32.
maybe. So, apart from the regular jobs, I heard that the bankers are under very pressure. And how do you deal with the work-life balance and SDG 8, or that is called, Sustainable Development Goals number 8?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Sustainable Development Goals number 8, and the name of the goal is decent work.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Can you now? Can you hear me? So, work-life balance.
Yes, yes.
Bankers are under pressure. How do you deal with the work-life balance? And number two is, decent work, HDC
Maybe
8. This also deals with decent work, work-life balance, etc.
maybe we are failing to make work-life balance because the situation and the culture and the competition and these other things are not in favor of making work-life balance, because market is too competitive. All are running behind, all are running one after another.
Okay.
So in last Friday, I had to go to office, and every day I have to work lately. So it's not applicable for all position or all person, but it's true that day by day it's becoming tough to make work-life balance. Though it's I love to share that in last Friday we arranged badminton tournament for our colleagues. So why we arrange this kind of function? Because we try to engage our staff with our with different funny moments, funny activities. So in last week we arranged badminton tournament. Before that we arranged high achiever award for the children of the colleagues, like who passed HSC and SSC exam.
So,
So apart
although
in
it is a
addition to
Friday,
the
but it is work-life
work,
balance issue.
we maybe you can tell, because it was not official work. It was a funny event. It was a funny event. It was gingerbread event, and in addition to, we always celebrate our birthday of the colleagues. We celebrate work anniversary. We celebrate different occasion. We celebrate Jersey Day. We celebrate after it reunion, or Women's Day. This is how we try to make them happy. We try to make them engaged in addition to the high pressure job.
So, retention separation. What are the strategies your company is taking to retain your employees in the company? And what are the separation strategies of your bank? Also in the banking sector. Separation maybe uh, from, a voluntary retirement, or it may be forced retirement. So can you please
Okay.
tell?
Retention.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Retention strategy is we always try to keep we always we always want our employees should be with our organization for a long time, because every retention has some cost. We never expect anyone leaving our organization. So what we do, if any employee resign, we always provide EPP, employee value proposition, like what actually we conduct employee satisfaction survey in every year, what our employee expect from us, and what is their feeling, and what they expect and what is their feeling. And we, as I mentioned, that if anyone is having any bad feeling, they can share with anyone. We have different corner. They can share anytime, and we provide financial benefit. That is financial matter financial matter is something that anyone is anyone is interested anytime. So we provide a competitive package, salary package to the staff. We always conduct market survey in which position we stand for the salary package. Like definitely we will not provide salary package which is below than the market standard. And lastly we conduct exit interview. Exit interview that is conducted for the resigning staff. We try to find out why the staff is leaving, and when we ask that staff, when you think of leaving that job, why are you leaving that job? We never ask that question. Why are we leaving that person? That is a simple answer, that staff got better opportunity from another organization. But we ask that staff, why, when you think of leaving the organization,
I see.
what motivated you to think to leave this organization, and what are the factors when you started thinking that you will leave this job, you leave this organization. So we analyze those data, and we try to solve those issues. I'd like to share with you one interesting thing that is came from an exit interview, that staff pointed the washroom issue. That washroom was not clean, and whenever he goes to washroom, he finds that washroom is unhealthy. So only because of that, he started thinking of leaving this organization. That is very interesting. That is number one interesting answer of my whole HR career. And
So is it reality or just mocking?
Shocked to know that only because of washroom you are leaving this organization. Well, say yes, and that is no. He meant it. He meant it, and actually the incident was there, that in that branch that people are not that much smart to take care of the washroom. And lastly we analyze, we checked with that branch, and it really it was in practice there.
Oh, I see.
So this is how we try to solve, so that employee can retain with this organization.
So social responsibility of the human resource managers, social responsibility. Say, for example, employment of disabled people, Hijra people, third gender people. So what are the social responsibility you are playing as the head of HR or deputy head of HR?
A social responsibility, I love to share my knowledge with the student of different universities. I seek for the opportunity because I feel that I have something that I should share with the student. That is my responsibility to share. I don't want any. It's not like that I want extra money, or I have fascination to earn extra money. That's not. Uh, I always try to tie up with different universities, because student what I faced at my academic period, I try to solve those issues. And though the employment people are saying that employment is too tough in Bangladesh, but in my knowledge, the getting right candidates is too tough, not employment.
Hmm.
Because I told you that 33 management training officer joined in my bank, but do you know we offered around 50 and 17 more than 17 didn't join because they have the better option. And there are some students who there are some candidates who joined with Honorable and they shared that they have multiple offer in their hand because they are the right candidate. They are the right candidate because they have more than 3 or 4 jobs in their hand. Because you have to, the student, I always try the
So,
student,
are
you
you
have to
blaming
prepare
us
yourself so
that
that
we cannot teach the
you,
students properly?
no. No, those students who joined in our management, they are also a student of your
Oh, I see.
because student should realize that they have to get ready. They have to get ready for the and another thing definitely if you ask social responsibility, then definitely I should tell that tie up with the uh, corporate and academician or the industry university alliance. Why do I need to search 43,000 CVs? I don't need it. If I have tie up with your institution, if I have tie with our Dhaka University or other institution, I'll go and I'll take some student from there. That is a simple job for me and for that institution. So tie up between the university and corporate is necessary.
So, beyond the issues we have discussed theoretically and practically, what are the issues you will mention here
Sorry, I can't
as
hear
the
you. Voice is
so,
breaking.
okay,
Sorry, 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 sorry.
beyond our discussions here, what are the issues you will mention for the students about the human resource practices in the banking sector and also in Bangladesh? Because maybe you have also experience of working with organizations other than banks. So, can you summarize the human resource practices in Bangladesh?
I started my career with Concord Group of Companies. That is was my first job. After that, I shifted to Eastern Bank. So
So,
actually, human
bank
resource
in
practice
banks, maybe the
nowadays, you will see.
HR practices are much better than the other organizations. Would you say?
No, not like that. No, not that. There are some organization, there are some international or institution or organization who are far better at HR practice than the bank. Bank, you can tell bank is not up to the mark of practicing HR process. Even
So,
HR practice
what
is
are the
far better
differences with
in
multinationals? Can you summarize?
other
Can you summarize some differences with multinational corporations?
multinational. They actually follow the standard process like what you told that succession planning. They actually, as I remember that HSBC or Unilever, they conduct succession planning. 9 bucks, you heard that name, 9 bucks, 9 buck grid,
Nine box.
9 bucks grid. That is the tool of conducting succession planning. 9 bucks grid. That
Leadership
is the
grid,
nine
also
bucks,
known
and we
as.
never get any chance to practice. Right, leadership grade. We never get any chance to practice this 9 grade, but in HSBC or Unilever, they apply that 9 grade. That is the real tool.
I
So
see.
MNC, British Toronto, their HR practice is far better.
And in
But
local organizations,
hello.
HR practices in Concord or some other organization other than banks.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
HR practices in Concord or some other organizations other than
Hello.
banks.
Yes. Can I repeat? I missed your last asking.
HR practices in Concord.
Yes.
So, what are the difference with banking and Concord? That means HR practices in banking sector and other
Bank.
private.
I shouldn't tell it. I shouldn't tell it. But bank doesn't love to. Banking industry doesn't love to follow the rules and regulations strictly. Banking industry, whole industry doesn't love it. Though we try to make them love it, but in local organization or like group of companies, they try to follow, because that is a sole proprietorship, sole proprietor organization. They try or so, but uh, this is the big difference.
That means the HR department
And
is not independent. Do you mean that HR department is not independent?
not like that. Not like that. Independent, definitely independent, but there are some issues like we have to deal with that many stakeholders, like owner is there, regulatory body is there, influencing group is there. So a lot of stakeholders are there who we have to deal with those stakeholders.
I see. So, any other HR practices do you like to share with the students that we are missing?
Um, no, maybe we covered many issues.
So maybe we are expecting to work.
Thank you.
Today the
Thank you.
connection is poor.
This is the way. Okay. Thank you. This is the way the academician or the teachers of different universities or institutions can connect student to the real world.
We are trying to do. We are
They
trying.
at least this is the way. This is the way you can introduce them to the real what is going on in the world.
So, as you are very tired after coming back from the office, you have allocated some time for us and for the students. We are expecting more talks with you in future, but for the moment, we are ending up today. In future, maybe
Okay. Thank you.
we the
Thanks
students
for
must be
giving me
benefited from
chance
your
to share
interview.
something.
Not chance. I'm happy
Thank you.
that
Thank
you have given a slot today, because especially the HR managers are very busy. They are not interested to allocate or giving a time, because this is your personal time you're giving to the students, and students must be benefited
But
from the
my passion is
discussion.
different. My passion is different. I always love to be connected with the academician and student.
So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.